I'm from Sweden. I'm a sociologist, criminologist. I have a long career in crime prevention. And obesity today is not considered a crime yet. But when I got obese, or at least really overweight after pregnancy, I almost felt like a criminal sometimes, going into a shop or two.
And I'm Amala, a microbiologist, and have done my PhD in medical sciences from Kazakhstan City. I'm originally from Ethiopia. In Ethiopia, having overweight child is really a measure of socioeconomic esteem. And now I'm residing in Sweden, where having overweight child is somehow associated with socioeconomic deprivation, and it's quite an opposite here in Sweden and in Ethiopia.
I'm Caroline. I'm studying innovative governance and public management, and I'm from Germany, where obesity is a bigger problem than it is here in Sweden.
I'm Reetta, and I study the same as Caroline, and I'm from Finland. And since we always copy Sweden, child obesity is always, also a problem in Finland.
And I am Eva Shayo. I have a background of telecommunication engineering, and I come from Tanzania, where having these overweight children is actually a blessing.
Our challenge givers are SweLife, an innovation program funded by the Swedish government, and Region Stockholm, which provides Stockholmers with healthcare and public transportation. Our group was assigned with the task to prevent child obesity from -1, which means already during pregnancy, until year 6 of a child's life. The challenge takes place in the overall aim of Stockholm to have 0 obesity at school start in year 2030.
So, in the first phase of the problem, of the challenge, we tried to learn more about the problem. And through the literature review, we found that prevalence of child obesity has been rising in the past 25 years from 1 to 4%, and that the main issue is food and the increasing intake in calories. It is a complex problem with many possible and overlapping causes, including socioeconomic and cultural problems.
Okay, and we also joined and read through a Facebook group of over 300 parents to overweight children. And we concluded that there is a wide variations and combinations of life problems that these parents have. And they are probably linked in some way or another to the problem that they have an overweight child, which strengthens the fact from the literature. We also found out, and that's the main point from the Facebook group, that this is a really emotional thing. One quote from the Facebook group is that I'm just so sad right now. This is triggering a lot of feelings in me from my childhood, and I'm scared that my child will get bullied and so on.
Our group also went to Hallunda Child Healthcare Center to interview child care nurses. And the insights from there were that child obesity is a really sensitive problem, and parents have different views on what obesity is. We also found out that nurses are usually referring only to the BMI curve because it's a fact that can't be argued with, and they really don't mention obesity before it occurs.
We created 3 personas to be able to get even more familiar with the problem and to understand possible end users. All 3 personas we have here are based on the insights we gained in the empathizing phase. And what we have learned is that each persona we have created has individual problems, and every one of them is not able to solve those problems on their own, but they need to work together as a family. For example, Hagos has financial problems. Emma, she needs to build her own identity as a child. And Johanna, she is struggling with the life puzzle. We have worked with those personas more over the more in the process.
Yeah, and based on those insights, then we thought of rephrasing this challenge of how to prevent child obesity from minus 1 to 6 years old, and think of how might we help families now to cooperate towards creating and establishing common values related to healthy life. And then we thought of many solutions, and these are among the 5 solutions that we came up with. And the first one was about parents to camp. And this is all about parents going into a camp and practicing and also discussing family life together. And also we thought of having healthy food box, which is similar to Lina's Matkese, but with cheaper and health food in it. And also we thought of having this health quiz where it will help. It's just a quiz to help people learning of health food. And also we had this Create Your Family, where one can create their own avatar and see how their own habits will actually influence their life. And finally, we had this family contract, where we thought of having it for the families to actually discuss and plan their daily routines within the family.
So, all of our solutions were loved by our talent givers and also with some interviews on the free. But it is the part of the course that you should have to keep or then say one, so that you should have to use some kind of criteria using a matrix, so that we use different criteria and accordingly come up with this family contract as a final solution to be developed further. And we used a SWOT analysis to see some shortcomings, for example, so that we remedy those problems associated with the family contract. And also we identified through how the content should be, for example, and how it should be labeled and so forth. And through this process, we empathize with our personas again to get some inputs and, for example, what they like, what they need more in the contract. And in the process, we found that this contract is, the term contract by itself is kind of boring and some kind of legal one, so that it couldn't be accepted so easily from the name by itself. So we decided to change the name into
We Are Family.
So, We Are Family is actually a tool that provides a family with tips and tricks that help to cooperate towards healthy and lovely family life. As you can see, it captures almost all the basic daily life of a family, so that in different sections you have different aspects of the family. And also over there on the right corner we have some tools that help families decide their activities using those rules and everything over there. And then, for example, if I click on VD, here families can choose from the rules what they want, whatever they want to do with their eating habits, and will come with some rules regarding their eating. And so they will agree what to do, what to eat, and everything like that. It's basically make the things very easy for the family to discuss and agree and work together as a whole corporation.
Okay, welcome everyone to this launching of the tool for families. And we're here with the test group that has been trying this for whole year of 2020. Stockholm region is launching this tool today. And I start with Eva here. You're the mother of 3, you're a busy woman. What was your first thoughts when you heard about this tool?
Oh my God, I thought maybe I don't have enough time for the discussion and agreeing on everything in the family all the time.
Okay, but you agreed to do it anyway. And how was it?
Oh yeah, at first it felt like actually moving office meetings now at home. But then, I realized that, wow, they decided to have meetings in the office to actually simplify and make their work easier. And then that is also the same with this tool.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what did you like and what did you not like about it?
Oh, I like this feature of We Sleep because before the tool, actually, I was the only one who was waking up, to take care of the kids when they needed something at night. But this time around, my husband can also do that as well. And also, we have our kid. He knows the importance of having enough sleep. And he don't actually wake up until it is very necessary. Yeah.
Okay. That might be good for me too. Okay.
Yeah.
And what did you not like about it?
It's not that I didn't like it, but we have not used this feature of economy because we thought maybe the system for our family is good enough. And this is the good thing about the tool. You don't need to use every feature. You can just use one feature and then you make your life easier at home. Yeah.
Hey, thank you, Eva.
Thank you.
And we also have Caro here. You have a 3-year-old son and you're divorced. How do you use a family tool when you're divorced?
Oh, I would say it's even more necessary to make agreements in families that don't live together. This tool made clear for us that there are so many things to decide and that we need to sit down together to create common rules and shared rules, for instance on food, so that our child has clear and consistent rules at home. Before we thought that we can just hand the daughter over every Sunday and don't discuss a lot, but it is very important to sit down together. This tool made that very clear for us.
Okay. Was it something that was in particular helpful?
Oh yes, I never thought about how to decide on things, but then we just went to the library of rules in the We Are Family tool, and we decided that we always want to write down our rules. It doesn't have to be formal, it can be just a text message or something, but always write it down so that if something is decided, we can always come back to it.
Okay, that's a good one. Thank you. And here we have Rita. You're a pregnant woman. I can see that. Is it your first child?
Yes, it is. I'm so excited.
Yes, you are. I guess you are. What did you think about this tool?
Well, I have been so busy with thinking about the child and the birth and what clothes to buy for it. So I totally forgot that me and my husband, we're becoming a family.
Yes,
and it was a good reminder, actually.
Okay, good. Was it something that you didn't like about this?
Well, I liked it a lot, but I would have had maybe wanted to have more features about how to speak to a child, what rules should I set. So maybe that could be improved.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And here we have Amare. Sorry about that. You have a family, you have a wife and 2 kids, but you also have your father and your mother-in-law in your house, so you have to keep a lot of people happy. How's that?
Yes, but it is really very, very tough, and it is not easy to steer that big bunch of family, really.
Yes, I can see the why. And did this tool help you in any way with that big family?
Yes, but it's not that easy always, because, for example, my father, he always used to buy sweets for to my daughter whenever he's out, so that whenever we try to not to do that, he just keep on laughing and just do the same thing.
Father, choice, you know. Okay.
But eventually, when we discussed these things, and my daughter also, through our discussion, learned that eating the sweets is not good for her health all the day, every day. Then we discussed and agreed to do something in the place of those sweets. For example, taking her to the park so that he can have fun with her, and also, for example, trying another kind of fruit. So that was also the motivation for my daughter. And meanwhile, when they are in the park, me and my wife go to the shopping without interference of our daughter. So it was a win-win situation, really. So we like it.
Good. But couldn't you have done this without the tool?
Yeah, it is like, for example, one can do his job in the office without having a calendar. But you can not do that easy. But the family life, this tool is about giving a direction to you, but it is you who will do. It is the whole family who will do the job, actually. So it gives us a direction. We like it really.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. Okay, that was the end of the sending from the launching. Thank you very much.
One more, quickly. We already tested the prototype on parents in Halunda and on experts. Some answers you found already in the small role play you saw. But we don't want to tell you more about the answers because we want also your feedback. You can read more about the testing phase and about the whole process in our report. And now, you're welcome to give us your feedback and questions. Thank you.
So any comments, feedback, questions? We have one here in the back. Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you for a wonderful presentation. It was very clear. I think tools can come in many forms, and one of them is mobile app. So one question is if you considered this app trap that the previous team was talking about. And also I was wondering if you thought ever that this data that is saved in the tool could maybe be used to connect families in similar situations, that they can actually offer peer support.
App trap, and could you connect different families with each other for peer support?
I guess it's me answering. App trap, we actually say that this is a tool and we don't really talk about the form. It could be a website or an app or even just in some other way, because the main thing is really about getting families to cooperate around making agreements on their life. So it could be actually a brochure also, just to make them do that. But so we say it's a tool, but we thought mostly about it as a website actually. And this about connecting families, we haven't thought about it that way. But what we thought about is that the library of rewards and libraries could be filled in from people who used it in some way, so that so it feeds into that.
Yeah, and maybe to add on what Karin has just said, we thought of having it in a digital form, and in that way it is easier to customize it, and you can even add some more features when it is in that form. And so it will just be a digital form. It can either be a mobile app or whatever, but at the end of the day we want to make it more easier to be used, and some more features can also be added or dropped from the tool. Yeah.
Yes, the challenge giver wants to ask. How many someone else?
And also Helena Martin. Hi, I'm Ebba Carbonier from SweLife. This is on, yeah. I'm very happy about the root cause analysis that you made and really coming to this very fundamental things of the need for common grounds and common goals, because that's usually the challenging part, and then working your way up. And we're talking about prevention of childhood obesity, but as I see it, you have managed to do a solution where you actually include more parts which are very important, which gives a holistic view. And I can just go to myself and with teenagers that it would be useful, and that's probably the best quality stamp one can get, that I would myself think it would be useful. So I'm really happy about your work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for this presentation, and I'm really impressed the way that you have taken care of this complex problem. And I really believe in your tool, and I like the family way of looking at it. I think, yeah, I think it can work.
Wow, great. Yeah.